So as that previous video segment suggested, harvest is a really good time to evaluate your level of weed control. This year with the dry weather, it gives an added twist for your level of acceptance, meaning that you may have done everything right, you followed your label to the T. In mid-July, you had pretty good weed control. However, you might have gotten just enough rain to germinate a late flush. And it's really weed species specific as far as what your late flushes might be. As an example, we've talked about Palmer amaranth for a number of years now and why it's such a huge problem. And the huge problem is that its weed dormancy or its weed germination window in any given year is so wide. It can germinate from March through July, and usually by mid-August, any type of residual compound you may have used in your post-emergent application work has long gone off label or have ran out of half-life that we talk about. It's ran out of residual. So then you'll get populations like this in mid to late September, and it's quite frustrating. What's the answer? Well, the answer is steady the course. Weed control is built around the herbicides available for you to use. Herbicide labels and use rates and concentrations within those labels are developed from any one manufacturer, enabling you to provide the best control given the conditions. This year, it's a little bit off because of dry weather. Why the dry weather? Why is that such a big thing with weed control? Well, when you have a shorter crop that doesn't canopy near as well, you're going to have holes in your canopy that allows photosynthetic requirement for all weeds to germinate to ensue and get larger and have a higher population. The more canopy you have, closer row spacings in corn or soybeans. That video clip was in corn, where the corn was really short. It wasn't yielding that well. It was victim of the drought. This is another example. You got a pretty erect type soybean plant here in a 15-inch row spacing, got enough rain, and kaboom, we have amaranthus and or Palmer amaranth, or amaranthus is just basically all forms of water hemp, and Palmer amaranth and redroot pigweed, and all of those kind of fall into that category of what we see in September. As you go through harvest, my consideration is this: take a look at what kind of weed you do have, identify it correctly, allow us to enable you to use the correct products, the right labeled rates, the right concentrations, and more importantly, most importantly, the right timing, so that we can try to attain the best weed control we have on an annual basis.